All right, so you know how we usually dive into articles or deep research papers? Well, today we're doing something a little different. Our source material is actually a song. Yep, a single track that tries to tell the entire story of the FIFA World Cup, from the very beginning all the way to 2026. Let's get into it.
So here it is. The song's called Raise Your Flags, and what you're seeing is the cover art. But for us, think of this as our roadmap. We're going to use the lyrics of this song to travel through almost 100 years of soccer history, see how the world's biggest tournament has changed, and figure out what this whole musical tribute is telling us about the future.
So the song jumps right in with this really powerful central idea. See, it's not just about listing off who hosted the World Cup and when, it's trying to make a bigger statement about what the whole thing really represents for all of us on a global scale.
You might be wondering, how does the song actually make its case for unity? Well, it literally takes us on this incredible journey through time. The lyrics just methodically walk us through the tournament's history, starting way back with the very first World Cup and carrying us all the way up to what it calls the Fire of Qatar. It's all a setup for what comes next.
Okay, now we're getting to the really fun part. The song just turns into this amazing, super fast-paced musical montage, just name-dropping the host nations decade by decade. So let's follow the timeline it lays out for us.
And it kicks off right at the very beginning. Uruguay in 30, all lit up, as the song says. From there, it's like a whirlwind tour through Europe with Italy and France. Then it jumps over to Brazil after the wartime break. Then back to Switzerland. And, of course, England in '66, where the Lion roared. You can already feel the tournament's global footprint just getting bigger and bigger.
And the trip doesn't stop there. We're moving into what a lot of people call a golden era for the tournament. We go from Mexico in 70 to Germany in 74, and then that passionate, controversial tournament in Argentina in 78. The song then zips us through Spain 82, back to Mexico in 86, and then on to Italy in 1990. But the lyrics actually stop and focus on one of those years for a really specific reason.
And here's that moment. The song singles this out with the line Diego La Rompió. I mean, this is a direct shout out to Diego Maradona's absolutely legendary performance in Mexico. La Rompió is slang. It basically means he smashed it. And it just perfectly captures the insane cultural impact of his hand of God goal and the goal of the century, all in one tournament. It's a moment totally frozen in time.
All right, and that brings us to the final leg of our historical tour, the modern era. The song calls USA 94 Sin Igual, which means without equal. It hits on France 98. It points out the first time the tournament was co-hosted in Korea and Japan, Germany in 2006, the first one ever on African soil in South Africa, and then it brings us right up to date through Brazil, Russia, and finally the bright lights of Qatar. And with that, our historical journey is complete.
Okay, so, wow. The song has just taken us on this whirlwind tour of almost 100 years of World Cup history. But all of that was just the setup. Because now, the music shifts and the lyrics pivot from everything that's happened in the past to everything that's about to happen in the future.
And it kind of leaves you with this big question just hanging there, right? After Uruguay, Brazil, Germany, South Africa, and Qatar, where in the world does the biggest sporting event on the planet go next? The song builds up that anticipation so well before it gives us the answer.
And then we get the answer. The lyric drops like a beat change. The signal arrived, North America lights up the World Cup. Just like that, after that whole journey through the past, the focus snaps to 2026. The torch is officially passed, not just to a country, but to an entire continent.
So we're in the final stretch of the song now, and it's not just announcing the next host. It's actually digging into what makes this next World Cup so totally different from every single one that came before it.
3. Just that one number. That's the game changer here. I mean, for the first time ever in the history of the men's tournament, the World Cup is being hosted not by one country, not even by two, but by 3 separate nations: the United States, Canada, and Mexico. This is something we've just never seen before.
And the song, I think, just nails this whole idea with one simple line. Tres países, one team. 3 countries, one team. You see, this is way more than just a logistical plan. It's this big vision of continental cooperation, of blending 3 really distinct cultures into one single unified effort.
So the last few lines of the song really lay out what this vision looks like. It talks about putting USA, Canada, and Mexico in the ring, getting ready for this massive challenge. And then it does something interesting. It makes a direct appeal. Volunteers, get on board. There's much to do. It's basically a call to action, framing this whole thing as a huge collective effort that needs everyone's help to pull off.
And this is how the whole song ends, on this really powerful, almost questioning line. It's not just cheering, it's more like a plea, right? FIFA 2026, I want to believe in you. So after this epic journey through the past, we're left with this sense of hope, but also this real challenge to the organizers. Can this totally unprecedented three-nation tournament live up to the amazing legacy we just heard about in this song? And I think that's the question we're all left with.